Hello there, YouTube. I decided, I found this very interesting video made by a pseudo-intellectual hack by the name of Jordan Peterson. No, I don't fucking respect this dude, and I know what he's after. He's basically a lying sack of shit. So, this was about a supposed Twitter ban. Let's have some fun, shall we?
A few days ago, I penned an irritated tweet in response to one of the latest happenings on the increasingly heated culture war front.
You guys are the only people who constantly fucking bring up this idea of culture war. Namely, because we know what you are. You guys are basically just a bunch of fucking authoritarians who want everyone to fit in your fucking box. Fuck you.
In response to the decision of an actor named Elliot Page.
We all know what you're trying to do. Quit trying to fucking obfuscate and think and try and make everyone think that you don't know what you're trying to fucking say. It's not that fucking hard. This is the reason why you got not banned, suspended from Twitter. So this whole Twitter ban bullshit, it doesn't fucking fly with me. I know exactly what fucking happened.
I am employing this awkward and impossible naming style because it is now apparently mandatory and probably...
No, it's not. It's just you want to be a twat. You want to try and evade any fucking form of responsibility when people call you out for your bullshit like I'm doing right now. It's not that hard. So fucking own up. Own it.
Doing it wrong nonetheless, as you're doing it wrong is the whole point of what is being made mandatory. But
no, it's not. If you want to look like an asshole, at least be fucking honest about it. It's just making you look like an asshole.
But also, I'm trying to make a point.
Why the fuck with this long fucking intro? Get to the fucking point.
Officially being banned from Twitter.
You weren't banned.
As a consequence. I say banned, although technically I have been suspended. But
quit trying to use the term banned. You have this fucking messiah complex. Get over it. Get over yourself. Are you so fucking arrogant to think that you can try and save all of Western society? Fuck you. We know exactly what you are.
The suspension will not be lifted unless I delete the hateful tweet in question, and I would rather die than do that.
Okay.
And hopefully it will not come to that, although who the hell knows in these increasingly strange days. What was it that I said that caused such a fuss? And that fuss is just beginning.
Simple. You were dead naming Elliot Page. There you fucking go. It's within the terms of service not to dead name someone whenever they come out as trans. It's not like, oh my god, it's so fucking easy to follow. I've never been fucking banned from Twitter. Although I barely ever fucking use Twitter, to be honest. Like, I just recently started kind of getting on there. And I don't really post anything, but still. It's not that hard to not get banned. It's don't be a twat.
And even more importantly and complexly, what exactly was it that I said that resulted in the ban?
Dead naming. There you go.
Here's the tweet in question. Remember when pride was a sin?
Sin is nothing more than a bullshit man-made concept in order to try and keep people in line. Fuck you.
And Ellen Page just had her breasts...
There you fucking go. Dead naming. And criminal physician. Although you have no fucking proof. So if anything, that's possibly libel.
Removed by a criminal physician. then a link to a story that detailed out the happenings. The response from Twitter, quote, violating our rules against hateful conduct. You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on.
The fact that Elliot Page didn't even have to fucking do anything, still hasn't done anything, yet you got all fucking triggered is fucking hilarious. You can try and say I'm triggered right now, I'm not. I'm calling out some bullshit that needs to be called out.
On the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age,
gender identity, there.
Disability, or serious disease. By clicking delete, you acknowledge that your tweet violated the Twitter rules.
And it did.
Delete. If you think we've made a mistake, submit an appeal to us. Please note that, should you do so, your account will remain locked while we review your appeal. Let's take this apart. First, it is clearly the case that I did not promote violence against or threaten anyone with my missive. So that leaves the arguably lesser sin of harass.
Yes.
Let's assume, since I wasn't informed, that that was the crime. And
everyone was informed about the trans identity of Elliot Page the moment she came out in public. So don't try and pull this bullshit of, I wasn't well informed. Everyone fucking knew.
Further, harassment on the basis of so-called gender identity. Since Twitter did not do me the favor.
Oh, are you gonna lie like you did in C16 in Canada? What a fucking joke.
Favor of actually specifying my crime, and there are many possibilities on that front. Unfortunately, I have to guess it.
No, we don't have to guess. It's dead naming. There you go. It's within the fucking terms of service of Twitter. You can check that out. But you don't want to. Because everyone fucking knows you would be called out on your shit immediately. We've all been calling you out on your shit. We know what you like to try and do. You like to try and make vague fucking assumptions. That way people can't necessarily pinpoint what exactly you're fucking getting at. But as soon as we find what you're fucking getting at, you want to fucking try and switch away. You're a slippery little bastard. You're a pseudo-intellectual hack. You can't even fucking really explain what nihilism is. Although, yes, there are different forms of nihilism whenever it comes to different subjects, such as political nihilism. There's existential nihilism, which I do fall into. I am an existential nihilist in the sense of I don't believe that there is an objective meaning in life. That's not a bad thing. It's just kind of the fucking truth. In the long run, nothing really fucking matters. Humans are merely just a stepping stone on the endless road of evolution up until the end of time. We're not going to last forever. Hopefully something better will come out.
Why this has occurred. And that's actually a big problem in and of itself, and also indicative of the utter carelessness of the Twitter organization.
It wasn't careless. You were just fucking stupid. If anything, the careless person is you.
With regard to the propriety of its own censorial actions, I should at least know exactly what I did wrong.
Dead naming.
If I am required to acknowledge that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. What
Dead
rules,
naming, it's
you
there.
Sons of bitches. Exactly. Precisely. Because such things matter when the accusations start flying. So what did I say that might constitute harassment? Well, many things, hypothetically. Let's begin with, remember when pride was a sin? Although that is merely a factual statement, because under the old rules,
like I said, sin is nothing more than a man-made fucking concept in order to try and pull authoritarian shit out of everyone's asses. Fuck you. We know what you try and do. Yeah, I do believe that there's a fucking wave of Christian-based fascism coming around. The thing is, it's always been coming. And people have been calling you guys out every fucking step of the way.
Applicable even a decade ago, pride was a sin and had to be.
Pride is not a... Here's the thing. If we're going by the concept of 7 deadly sins, here's the thing about sin. Sin on its own is not necessarily a bad thing. It's whenever it's an excess or unwarranted. False and empty pride. And this is not a false or empty pride. She has pretty much transitioned. Well, he has pretty much transitioned. Sorry. He's pretty much transitioned from being a female named Ellen Page to being a male, so he had top surgery. Now his name is Elliot Page. The name Elliot Page has been around for what, a year and a half? It's not that hard.
Recognized as perhaps the cardinal sin for thousands of years previously.
What has your religion done other than cause massive fucking misery and self-loathing? Your religion thrives off of that shit. It makes humanity fucking miserable.
It still might be regarded as unacceptable to the woke authoritarian moralists.
Woke authoritarian stating the concept of sin, which is nonetheless extremely fucking authoritarian, and you want to call the other side authoritarian? You do not have the fucking room to talk. Have you checked your fucking self lately? Have you checked your fucking rhetoric? Are you this unaware? How fucking stupid and arrogant and hypocritical do you have to be in order to try and call the other side authoritarian, and yet you're making bullshit fucking assumptions such as sin? Fuck you. Fuck you in the ear, dude.
To now insist, for example, that we celebrate Pride Month, not...
You know the reason why Pride Month is not just because people, you know, it's not just because I'm gay, therefore pride. No, it's the fact that they've practically defied your authority and being put in this fucking box. Fuck you. And not even just that, the whole idea of Pride Month is not even just about that, but also the various different events that have basically, what started Pride was the riot of Stonewall back in 1969. The fact that you want to try and fucking proclaim, oh, it's just because they want to be, you know, debauched. Fuck you, dude. As I've said before, fuck you in the ear. Get to a fucking point.
Or week, but month, and to have literally called it Pride Month instead of LGBT plus month or whatever else alphabet acronym which is currently insisted upon as the only acceptable enlightened terminology. I don't regard...
There are some people who are rather... It can be insane with the whole LGBT. You know, there are people who simply say queer because it's short, really to the point, and it's taking back that word from people, well, basically from a bunch of dipshit bigots. You know, honestly, I'm all happy about that. So, I'll say queer history, I'll say LGBTQ history, I don't fucking care. It's basically, you know where I'm getting at.
Pride as a virtue. It is being classically regarded as a sin.
It's a virtue because of their accomplishments. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, daughter, I love your art. 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 I love your but I'm not proud of it. Pride is a sin. How fucking stupid are you, dude? My God. Are you going to be the person who, like, beats themselves with the cat of nine tails in the back every night? Because I'm showing, I'm beating myself for my sins. Fuck you. Honestly, that would be fucking hilarious. I wouldn't even be, like, what could I fucking say? I'd just sit there and be like, oh, he's a fucking idiot. What else is there?
I don't see that sexual orientation or sexual desire of any sort is something to celebrate or to take pride in.
The reason why they take pride is because people like you try to put them in a box. Fuck you. You try and tell other people how to fucking live. When you don't have you don't have an ounce of moral fucking authority. I can agree with you with the idea of personal fucking responsibility, but here's the thing. If there are systemic problems, it takes systemic solutions. There you fucking go.
And so what I said was merely a fact. Now, it's possible that I hurt someone's feelings.
You ain't hurt
I pointed
mine.
out that pride goes before, for example, a fall. But I don't care about that.
You didn't even fucking...
Again.
You didn't even quote the fucking Bible correctly.
To warn those who are about to fall into a pit that the path they are on leads suddenly downhill.
No.
But that was probably not the reason that I was banned from Twitter. Although, as I said, I am in the position of having to guess. Next phrase to interrogate. And Ellen Page.
Dead naming. There you
Now,
go.
why did I stop there? Because in all likelihood, it was this seemingly innocuous phrase, including the name of a well-known actress, there I'm in trouble again, that likely...
Quit trying to play this fucking game as if it's fucking hard. It's not. Call him Elliot Page. Him. He is a trans man. Oh my God. Did I just blow your fucking mind? Or are you just this fucking pathetic? Hey, righties and whatnot, and this is coming from a person who considers himself libertarian. Is this the best that you have? This fucking pathetic heap of shit? This is the best that you have? Any, like, libertarians. He shouldn't be your guy. He's an authoritarian through and fucking through. He tries to masquerade himself and tries to call the others fucking authoritarian. He should look in, he should look in the fucking mirror.
Resulted in my ban. I committed the fatal crime of what has come to be known in the appalling sensorial terminology of the insane activists as dead naming, which is the...
Yeah, and it's in the fucking Twitter rules of service. Don't fucking do it. It's not that hard. They are who they are now.
act of referring to someone who has transitioned, another hated piece of jargon and slogan.
It's hated because it's more specific than what you fucking let on. You try and do these vagaries to try and, try and get people off guard. That way they can become more susceptible to your fucking propaganda. Fuck you.
By the name and by the inference, the gender, really the sex, that everyone knew them by previously, and in the case of Ellen/Elliot, that millions of people recognized and knew. So I should have either called him, her, they, Elliot, instead of Ellen, although as we will discover, that would have made it impossible for me to say what I wanted to and need to say in the remaining phrases, not...
No, it would not have made it impossible. You could have said the same shit that you were trying to fucking state without dead naming. Yeah, I'd rather die than delete this tweet. And then next thing you know, you're back on fucking Twitter. How long did that fucking last? Pathetic.
That such a problem would bother those who are objecting to my speech in the first place.
No, we're objected to your fucking lies. You're basically nothing but a fucking sophist. You're a hack.
The next phrase is, just had her breasts removed. This bit suffers from a very similar
He had
problem.
top surgery. There you
I
go.
employed the forbidden pronoun her when Elliot, Ellen, is now to be regarded as a he or else.
Let me edit your fucking tweets. Remember when pride was a sin? I don't consider it a fucking sin. I don't believe in the concept of sin. So, my personal opinion there. Elliot Page had top surgery by a supposed criminal physician or doctor. I just fucking remade your tweet without dead naming. Am I a god? Jesus fucking Christ.
But there's a conundrum here, to say the least, and not just for me, although I have been banned because of it.
You weren't banned, you were suspended. You were not banned. Get your head out of your ass.
Was Elliot / Ellen a she or a he?
He.
Or Ellen or Elliot, when she or he or they, that's Elliot or Ellen, by the way, had his or her or their breasts removed.
No. Elliot Page is described as a he since he came out as transgender and stated himself to be Elliot Page. This was back in 2020, dude.
If he or she was a he, then why was it necessary to have the mastectomy? And how could those I'm writing to make sense of what I was saying if it was his breasts that were removed? Were those male breasts or female breasts that were removed?
Men can have tits too. We call them man titties. This is a fucking worthless argument. You can't be this fucking retarded. Breasts are not gendered. Oh my fucking god, dude.
If they were male breasts, then why were they removed?
It's an elective surgery. He can do what he wants. But you want to try and say something about that in the future. I know it. But there are all kinds of different reasons why people would want to have mastectomies. Cancer is one of them. Liposuction and shit. Although that's more to do with the gut. But there's different reasons. And the thing is, it's none of my business. It's none of your fucking business. It's none of anyone else's fucking business except for the doctor and him. It's not that fucking hard to comprehend.
If they were female breasts and had therefore become objectionable to the degree that surgery generally reserved for cancer treatment was required, was morally obligatory, then wasn't Elliot still Ellen and he still she?
No, Elliot became Elliot the moment he came out in public. Quit trying to pull this bullshit of this fucking, the ship of Theseus bullshit. I know what you're trying to fucking do. I'm calling you out for it. You're trying to make it more complicated than it is. It's not that fucking complicated. You're trying to obscure the facts.
How could I possibly have written that sentence in any sensible manner whatsoever?
I restated your fucking tweet for you. There you go.
While simultaneously making my point understandably and not breaking Twitter rules against so-called hateful conduct.
Already stated before. Second verse, same as the first.
And Elliot Page just had his breasts removed.
Elliot Page had top surgery.
Was he Elliot then? When exactly? Exactly. He was definitely Ellen at some point in the past.
Before he came out.
Or so indicate all his, her, them, their film credits. Will all those have to be reshot since they...
If they want to make new copies of whatever movie, say Juno, then what they can do is edit the credits to say Elliot Page.
They employed the hated dead name. That doesn't exist, by the way, that dead name category, except in the sensorial and addled minds of a tiny fraction of insanely narcissistic and increasingly dangerous trans activists.
Narcissistic? Have you heard yourself? And here's the thing, people change their names all the time. People change their legal names all the fucking time for different fucking reasons, such as marriage or divorce or maiden names exist.
When precisely was it incumbent on me to switch my terminology in regard to Elliot
when he came out?
Ellen, so that I was not engaging in hateful conduct. And how can I describe the fact that someone who was once a woman, and really still is, had her breasts cut off because she, he, they, their, them had fallen prey to a viciously harmful fad without using the appropriate sex-linked pronoun and the real name of the real person to whom this was really done with his, her, their voluntary but unfortunate acquiescence. And so...
A fad? Just because more people are coming out as trans doesn't mean that it's merely a fad. There are some people who possibly just treat it as a fad, don't get me wrong. I think those people are fucking idiots. And they have no fucking idea how serious these situations can be. But it's not a fad. It's just that we have become more accepting of trans people, hence now they have more of the ability to come out. Which is why we're seeing higher numbers of trans and LGBT people.
So it was impossible to communicate what had happened to my audience without apparently running afoul of the impossible and absurd rules that now hypothetically govern morality itself in the days of the degenerated postmodern and Marxist ethos that we must still, no matter how...
How the fuck does this have anything to do with Marxism? It doesn't. Quit using your fucking buzzwords and get to the goddamn point.
How impossible it is to abide by, or else. And you might object, Ellen/Elliot is an adult, 30-something, and fully capable of making up his, her, their own mind about such things.
And they are.
They are welcome from the liberal and the libertarian position to go to hell in a handbasket as she, he, they see fit.
I would rather be a ruler of hell than a servant in heaven, as stated in Paradise Lost. Although, yes, that book is a work of fiction and actually goes to kind of show the more of who the hero is in the Bible. And it's not God.
To some degree. But I don't believe it is either merely picayune or inappropriate to point out that Ellen/Elliot, who is quite a good actor/actress, is also a ritual model for emulation, being a star with all the privileges and let us.
Oh my god. So you're basically going to try and use the same fucking argument that people against video games use. It's a bad influence. Fuck you. I like my games, I like my porn, not just that. A lot of the games I fucking play, they're a lot fucking smarter at handling whatever fucking subjects than you are. I find you to be intellectually vapid and pathetic. Like hell, whenever you tried to supposedly challenge Slavoj Žižek, and what the fuck do? You don't read any of his fucking books. You bring out the Communist fucking Manifesto. That's what you do. Talk about the biggest fucking the biggest fucking amount of disrespect you could have to a fellow philosopher. Even if you disagree with him at the core of the idea of Marxism, you don't fucking do that. One, he is much more fucking educated than you. You only have a PhD in what? Psychiatry? This motherfucker has 2 PhDs whenever it comes to philosophy. He knows what he's fucking doing. You've wrote what? 6 fucking books? This motherfucker wrote 60. Or wait, did you write 12 books? I believe, maybe I'm getting wrong here. I'm actually thinking that you wrote 12 books. Still, the motherfucker wrote 5 times at least compared to you. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Point out the responsibilities that go along with that.
The responsibilities of living his own fucking life, not tied down to your bullshit rules. She has no responsibility towards anyone else. She has no obligation towards anyone else. Fuck you. You want to try and call against fucking collectivism? What the fuck is this? This is collectivist mentality. This is fascistic thinking. And then you're fucking surprised when people try and say that this is fascistic thinking? It is.
So by acquiescing to this surgery and by publicizing it, by insisting upon the sanctity and the moral virtue of his, her, their new, expensive, dangerous, and medically enhanced identity, and by participating in the whole identity charade, Ellen/Elliot has undoubtedly, with his, her, their so-called courage, and remember the White House itself has tweeted out every indication of believing in the courage of those who transition, enticed many a poor, confused adolescent, girl most likely, to blame her emergent pubescent self-consciousness confusion.
Really? Fuck you in the ear. She's not responsible for everyone else. He's living his own fucking life. Sorry for potentially dead naming there. Sorry. I don't typically talk about a lot of these things, but I am very staunchly an ally. Elliot Page has the right to live his own life. You do not have the moral fucking right to try and proclaim this idea of this moral fabric. Fuck you. You authoritarian twat.
And discomfort on being born in the wrong body and believing that the courageous, self-affirming, and morally admirable route is
choosing to be his true self is a moral failing. I can see in some ways, such as a pedophile. However, I do think that's more more of an illness, because that actually does include victimizing people. And I do believe in, rather than just merely stigmatizing people who have said illness, we should try to help them before they victimize anyone.
Hormonal treatment, sterilization, subjugation to a lifetime of expensive medical complication. How delightfully profitable is that? And misery.
Aren't there studies where trans people are actually much happier after they transition? Like, the number of people who regret their transition is actually lower than average.
And I believe firmly that Ellen/Elliot, or whatever the hell her name or his name is, bears moral culpability for that. And
Fuck you.
With regard to the final phrase, criminal physician, I must say that I've had some post-coital, so to speak, regrets about that phrase. It is clearly the case that the surgical operation performed by the butchers who butchered Elliot/Ellen was legal. So, was it criminal or not? Were the operations undertaken by the fascist physicians who carried out the Nazi medical experiments?
Oh, so you're confused. Okay, so you're gonna compare this to the Nazis. One, the Nazis did not fucking do any form of fucking consent whatsoever. Take that into fucking account. And they did not care for the patients. Don't even try to convince anyone about this bullshit. This was based entirely on someone else's fucking consent. Both the doctor and the patient. Consent was there. The Nazis did not have anything to do with consent. That is what made it completely fucking unethical. And not even just that, they weren't doing it to try and better anyone. They were doing it on merely completely fucking unethical bases. So don't try fucking contorting this shit. Don't try mixing up the two. This shit pisses me off. Because what the Nazis did was monstrous. And concerning you're trying to do this whole moral fucking this moral fabric, this moral organism of society, fuck you. This is an exact argument that fascists use. Don't try separating yourself from it whenever you try and make arguments such as that. You are not you're not even in the fucking same playing field. I do not consider myself an intellectual, and yet here I am calling you out on your shit because you deserve to be called out, and at least I'm being more fucking honest than you practically ever were.
Legal? Yes, under the laws of the time. But were they criminal? I'll leave that question up to you to answer. And further, perhaps it might be objected, what about the damage done by hypothetically leaving those confused about their identity to dwell in your confusion? Aren't we morally obliged to intervene? And I would say, no.
Are you going to try and make an argument to nationalize healthcare? Wow. Lefty Jordan, I guess. Fucking idiot.
Why? Well, first, do no harm, as the Hippocratic Oath, remember that, insists. And second,
the Nazis did not fucking care about the Hippocratic Oath. So, what the fuck does that do with anything? And if transition helps someone overcome their gender dysphoria, then guess what? That is helping someone. That's not doing harm. Transitioning does not equal harm.
It has been a matter of historical consensus that sins of omission are less egregious than sins of commission.
Like I said, sin is nothing but a bullshit concept anyway.
No matter how warranted, and perhaps it is in a very tiny minority of truly unfortunate cases, to suffer the consequences of the theoretical mismatch between soul and body is less of a risk ethically, personally, socially, and philosophically than the extreme.
Prove the existence of a soul first before you want to try and state shit like that.
Active intervention that constitutes so-called gender confirming, another hated phrase, surgery.
It's not.
I might also point out that the trans surgery enterprise is now a $300 million per annum growth industry. Rate of projected expansion, 15% per year. Projected increase by 2027 to $750 million per year. An expanding enterprise in a time of global uncertainty.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Jordan. This is a worthless fucking argument. It is literally fucking worthless.
Time to invest both in the requisite surgical skills and perhaps in any industry associated with this vicious and unconscionable fad, primarily entangling, as such things so often do, the youthful and female. Isn't that a concern, intersectionalists? Not when push comes to shove, or ideology the scalpel.
Keep the women pure. Fuck you, dude.
Is that not a true moral hazard? And I'm not taking down that tweet or acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules.
Seems to me you already fucking did. How long did that last?
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
We'll see who cancels who. You're not fucking threatening, dude. We know what you are.
Twitter's a rat hole in the final analysis, and I have probably contributed to that while trying to use, understand, and master that horrible, toxic platform. No doubt I owe some apologies for that, and I'm trying to learn, but it's a relief in some real sense to be banned, and I regard it under the present conditions as a badge of honor.
So that was Jordan fucking Peterson. Basically, just a bunch of meandering bullshit. The fact that anyone considers this man to be at all an intellectual just goes to show how fucking stupid a lot of people are. Whenever he says he's a stupid person, smart person, they ain't lying. Because trust me, the people who do follow him are pretty fucking stupid. And the fact that we now have this bullshittery constantly fucking happening. Hey, lefties. If it means taking these fuckers down, I will completely side with you. However, I may not necessarily agree with you completely on economics. I would still have to learn more, but I'm completely open to the idea. I do believe that maybe automation is the way of the future. I think, personally, Andrew Yang was really fucking intelligent. I agree with the idea that possibly automation could lead us to a brighter future. I still stand by that. And if that's what you guys are all about, I'll side with you. So, maybe now I'm kind of joining the left. I'm kind of seeing some problems with libertarians and the idea that they keep on falling this fucking rat hole, letting these people fucking continue to thrive. And I will say this, the anti-theists who are stating, yes, Christian fascism is real, it's been slowly encroaching ever since the appeal of Roe, ever since the fucking appeal to Roe v. Wade, and the fact that Clarence Thomas couldn't keep his fucking mouth shut and stating, yeah, we're gonna go after all the things, maybe except for Levin versus Virginia, because I personally fucking benefit from that. They were correct. The anti-theists were correct. Sometimes, yeah, they can be a little cringe, but damn, they have some fucking foresight. But either way, this is me signing out.